Now this morning, the Groblersdal Magistrate Court in Limpopo will hear the assault case of Pieter Groenewald and Stephan, where the pair also faces allegations of racism. The alleged victim, their security guard, was reportedly attacked last December. These charges also include an accusation of intentionally setting a dog on Veneruru Kavari. We'll get you a sense of what to expect inside court, but of course this was a story that caught many people's attention, especially when you consider the very grotesque details around what apparently happened. There was video footage, I understand, that was also released in relation to the incident itself. Veneruru Kavari speaking about the trauma that's followed. Pimani Baloyi is part of our team watching developments and joins us now live. Is there any telling around what's likely to take place inside court in the story, Pimani, especially because in the past we've seen there's been action both in and outside the court chambers?
Good morning, Ayanda. Today there's been no action outside the court. Even the cordon off area that we see with police armored vehicles is not outside, but I must state that there is a large contingent of police officers that are walking around this court precinct. But in terms of civilians, people who are protesting outside court, we have not seen any of that. But back to your question, Ayanda, in terms of what we can expect, we actually expect a very brief court appearance for Mr. Groenewald and Mr. Greeff, because as you already know, the pair have been denied bail and they've been remanded in custody. So right now we expect the state to update the court in terms of how far are their investigations. Are they ready to try this two accused in terms of the allegations that they stand accused of? And we know that in court, while they were applying for bail, both have indicated that they intend to plead not guilty, stating that they actually, the alleged assault was actually a self-defense, because they said Mr. Kavari was drunk and he had threatened to attack them, and then that the dog actually let itself loose. It wasn't let loose, it just ran after Mr. Kavari because it was trying to defend its owner, who was under attack by Mr. Kavari. But some of the other things that we had in court during the bail application was that Mr. Groenewald, 63-year-old Mr. Groenewald, has spent about 10 years in police custody, incarcerated on a conviction, 2 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder, which actually happened in the 90s, and he started serving his time early 2000 and was released on parole in 2010. And when during the commission of this crime, that parole period had lapsed in 2020. So this is some of the reasons that the state gave in opposing bail, that he had absconded between the commission of the crime and the trial, where he was later convicted of those 2 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder, that they fear that he might interfere with state witnesses. This also applies to his co-accused, Mr. Greeff, stating that even while they were incarcerated, some of their state witnesses were intimidated, stating that one was even kidnapped, taken to Mpumalanga and brought back to here in Groblersdal, and asked that he must withdraw his witness statement. So this is some of the information that came in court when they were applying for bail. But today we expect them to briefly appear. The state will inform court how far its case is it ready for that trial, and if it's ready, then we will hear when that trial will start. Ayanda?
Yeah, and to what extent, Pimani, is the court entertaining this perception at the very least that the attack was racially motivated?
Yes, Ayanda, you can imagine this is actually another incident that is believed to be racially motivated, where we saw about 2-3 years ago another man was prosecuted in this court for an incident that also involved a white and a black person. So in this specific incident, we've seen politicians and different stakeholders coming into this court stating that, the reasons that these 2 accused let that dog loose and they assaulted him is because he was black, purely that. But we've heard the 2 accused in court stating that this has nothing to do with racial related feelings, stating that this is just an employee who was not doing his job, and when they tried to reprimand him for that, he attacked them and they had to defend themselves. So yes, there's a lot of undertones here where people are saying it was racially motivated, But the accused before this court have denied that allegation, and they've even went further and stated that people who came to this court building on the day that they applied for bail, who were carrying a flag that has been said to be the old Transvaal flag, are not affiliated to them. In their affidavits, Mr. Groenewald and Mr. Greeff stated that they're not members of the Pieter Enders, they know nothing about the Pieter Enders, and they did not even ask those people who came in court to support them to come and support them, stating that to them this was actually a human resources matter between them and Mr. Kavari, who was their employee, who they say on that day came to work drunk, and when they tried to reprimand him, he attacked them and they had to defend themselves. So these are some of the issues that we're hearing inside and outside this court. But the defense, the two accused are adamant this has nothing to do with racial hatred or anything related to that. And also it has nothing to do with politics, stating that politicians are hijacking this case, trying to make it a political game, because as you can know, elections are coming on the 29th of May, Ayanda.
Absolutely, and campaigning is in full swing. Pimani Baloyi, thanks very much indeed for that reportage, giving us a clear picture of what to think about as that case prepares to get underway. Pimani, live to us from the Groblersdal Magistrate Court in Limpopo.